Welcome to round number 12 of the Area Cup Series, the regular season finale that's being held at Talladega Superspeedway. The playoff grid will be set here this afternoon in the sim in the evening hours on this Tuesday to see who will race for a championship come Charlotte Motor Speedway in round 17. I'm John Ramos, the voice NR, saying hello, saying welcome to all that are hanging out with us. Do I look tired? Maybe just a little bit. Just got off of a 9.5, 10-hour drive from northern Milwaukee after hanging out, working with the ASA Stars National Tour at Slinger Superspeedway. Met so many of you all there, and now it's time to go back to the sim world. I'm John Ramos alongside Hunter Schleppy. I'm looking at this championship grid. Look at this playoff grid. It's interesting. We're going to run it down right now. Seth Knoll, championship leader. He's been on a tear. Jake Nichols, John Hall, Connor Horn. They run 1, 2, 3, 4. James Scioli in 5th. Then you got Dylan Alden 6th. Adam Cabot, Peyton Howell, Michael Curhan with Bailey Turner, Jonathan Evans, and Brandon Bowie. Top 12 make the championship playoffs. How does it work from there? Pretty simple. They could very much be bumped out if they don't already have a win. You have to be inside the top 20 to win your way in to the playoffs. So Josh Cottle, Jeremy Miller, Frankie Barroso, with Reese Schaefer, Patrick Moose, Travis Beckner, Hayden Swank, and Barrett Polimis are all eligible to make it to the playoffs if they win tonight. Drivers outside looking in, they first need to point their way in to the top 20. That's actually Ben Pierce and Max Service. Both those drivers need to come in swinging. Big thing to talk about, you have to start at least 10 races to make the playoffs. All drivers inside the top 22 are eligible. Max Service and Ben Pierce need to point their way in still just to get into the top 20 to have the win waiver to be eligible for the playoffs. Really the big eyes of top 20. I know I did a lot of talking there, Hunter. What's it looking like? What are you thinking? What are you expecting from these drivers here tonight? One last shot to make the playoffs.
Looking at pure calamity, pure chaos. That's what's happened over the last couple of seasons where we've had surprise winners. Spencer Burns, he was a part-time driver and outside of the playoff picture, and he snatched a win in season 5 and took away a playoff spot for someone else. And then last season, Tyler Nichols won with a last lap pass on the front stretch coming to the checkered flag over Blaze McKinney and actually punched his ticket into the playoffs that way. He was just barely inside the top 20 in points after that race, so he was barely in by a thread. Looking at just pure calamity. I don't expect it to be like Daytona where we go caution free. That's never happened before at Talladega. Half of the races we've had here have gone to overtime. The last one was back in season 5. A lot of different leaders. We have 35 lead changes, so expect it to be a rotating list of drivers. The dominant driver never usually wins. Brad Slaughter won in season 1. He led 22 laps. Every other driver has led either 3 laps or 1 lap in the last 5 races we've had here. And actually, the last 3 driver that's won the races only led 1 lap. So that shows how much it matters. As far as laps led, just keep your car up front, stay out of trouble, avoid the big one, and put yourself in a winning position on the last lap.
Indeed, and it's going to be really interesting to see how it all lines out. Big thing to note as well, some drivers in new paint schemes will update you on there. 94 laps, we go all the way to the checkered flag here tonight, an afternoon race at Talladega. I don't think we've had one night race all regular season, which is very, very interesting. We do have some drivers coming in just trying to make that one off for Talladega Superspeedway. As you mentioned, Spencer Burns did it a couple seasons ago. But I want to look at this bubble because Brandon Bowie, how has he been running this season? He's had 3 top 10s. He's well behind the drivers up inside the top 5. But Josh Cottle, he can point his way in. 7 points back to that cutoff. We're going to be watching Cottle versus Bowie. We know Lucky Duck's going to be watching as well to see what Josh Cottle can do. And in theory, I mean, yes, what's going on right now? Cottle has 1 top 5, same amount of top 10s as Bowie, but the finishes that Bowie had that were a little bit better, Josh Cottle did absolutely in his eyes, horrendous at. So if he can just finish in front of Bowie by a couple positions, or let alone just win his way in, that's huge. We're going to be watching Evans and Bailey Turner. What happens if they wreck out? That opens the door for Barroso. That opens the door for Jeremy Miller, that has a new one-off paint scheme tonight. A lot of things to navigate, a lot of things to watch. I think these 94 laps in this broadcast won't just be about the racing on the track. It'll be watching the playoff picture, seeing who's coming in, who's coming out. Hunter, do you know how the points work, just to explain to the viewers back at home?
The points, it's pretty standard to regular NASCAR Cup racing, but you do get bonus points for leading a lap. I believe you get a bonus point for leading the most laps. You get a bonus point for not having any incidents during the race. You get a bonus point for winning the pole. And I think there's one more. I'm trying to find where that is, but I think the max you can get is actually 3 bonus points. So it pretty much works the same. 40 points to the winner, and so on and so forth. It goes down. It's similar to the way Cup works. Their points in real life. But every position is a point. Every point matters. And every thousandth of a second matters, because I'm looking at the outside of the top 12. Jeremy Miller, he had such a good start to the regular season, and then a slowly faded outside the top 12 in points. Think back to the Area 500 where he lost to his teammate Bailey Turner by 1/1000th of a second. If he doesn't point his way in tonight, that 1/1000th of a second at Daytona could be what keeps Jeremy Miller from making the playoffs.
Indeed. So we're going to continue to watch. We're going to monitor all the drivers that look to be safe, all the drivers that don't look to be safe. 2 minutes till we go qualifying from Talladega. This is the Area Cup Series live on the IDK Player YouTube channel. Hunter, let's talk about it. Who do we think is going to go to victory lane?
Looking through, I'm looking at the results from early in the season. Bailey Turner, Jeremy Miller, Adam Cabot, all the 609 guys, they were up front. Looking at the front runners that we've had all season, like Seth Knoll, John Hall, Dylan Alt, they finished inside the top 5 and top 10 at Daytona. Peyton Howell's a playoff driver. He finished up near the front. Barrett Polimas, I'm looking at him. He's sitting 20th in the standings. He finished top 10, but he's going to have to win his way through tonight. Scioli finished 10th at Daytona as well. And like I said, you lead the most laps, it won't guarantee you victory, and that was actually John Hall. He led 19 at Daytona. It's really a toss-up here. There's not a dominant super speedway driver. There's some that are usually well at super speedways.
Close,
I'm looking
right.
at if he's in the sim tonight. I think Ryan Swan is a good one. He's won in the Pro Series. He's won in the truck competition. He has yet to win at Talladega in a Cup car. Won't mean anything for him playoff-wise, but just needs some sort of momentum to head into the final stretch of the regular season. Can really beat anyone in the points. I mean, Brad Slaughter Jr. as well. He usually does well in these super speedway races. So it can literally be a toss-up. I don't have a specific favorite for tonight.
Okay, I'm excited. You know what? I'm going to go for the storyline. Can Barrett Polimas go from 20th to a win and knock out some of these drivers that are on that bubble? I'm going to look at it one more time. Bowie is 7 back to... No, he's actually 18 back to Evans. Evans is 3 back to Bailey Turner. So, okay, ballpark range, 10th on back. They're iffy, right? There's a bad wreck, including early. Bailey Turner, Jonathan Evans, they could be in trouble. We watched Bowie and Cottle. I would... story-wise, love to see Barrett Polimas come on in and jump his way into the postseason, which I think is possible. So keep that all in mind. Barrett Polimas is 79. That's going to be my pick tonight. Let's get ready to go trackside in just a matter of moments, mere seconds, till we go in and do it. Lucky Duck dropping down the $2 super chat. We know, for the ones that were wondering, this stream was put up very early. I stopped somewhere in Illinois to quickly put this stream up. There was a Starbucks. I went, got to do it quick. Got it done, hit the road, and here we are. I got back to our studio here in Nashville, Tennessee. I want to say 30 minutes ago. A lot of traffic, a lot of stopping, got a little bit worried. But this side, the behind-the-scenes obstacles, I believe mostly have come to a close as we head trackside. For Talladega, welcome to round 12 of the Area Cup Series. High atop looking down. Talladega Superspeedway, brand new rescan as well. The next gens had their updates with the new update that just came on out. And you see everything that looks new at Talladega. There's Brett Puncari heads onto the speedway. Seth Knoll, you know that one machine awfully too well, that drafty car Toyota. Blaze McKinney, his 87 gets rolling. Ed Robertson. Connor Horn. Seth Berger, Brad Slaughter Jr. Berger in the 77. Jonathan Evans, early sitting on pit road. Hayden Swank. And then you got Cabot in 17. So they're going to roll around. We were not going to interview drivers now. We'll interview them later with how things are going. But want to say thank you to everyone that's tuned on in. No NR night this week. As you guys know, just got home, but quickly we'll be back on the road. You can watch my in-person broadcast at Flat Rock Speedway for the Jeg Series All-Stars Tour this Saturday night. Flat Rock, located in Metro Detroit. Gonna be a lot of fun to go ahead and see, but we'll be on the road, and unfortunately we'll be missing an NR night in America. NR night in America, and area will return next week as the playoffs are upon us. For some more great racing, we'll have area on Monday, we'll have NR night on Tuesday. Philip Groner, Ed Robertson, Max Service. Service has pulled off to turn number 2. John Hall, his big old win at Homestead earlier in the year, punched his ticket to the postseason as he rolls to the inside part of the racetrack. Adam Cabot holding steady. Single car qualifying, stuff you've seen before in other series and other leagues and other hosteds. But you want to start in a good spot as we'll get ready to ride. Want to say hello to all the viewers that have joined on in. Saw so many of you actually at Slinger. Very grateful for all the Wisconsin locals coming up to Slinger. Saw a good amount of you as well at Madison. Seth Knoll, top of the board. Nothing yet for Connor Horn. Service, Groner. Mason Kane has joined back as well, part-time ride. All awaiting some time. Hunter, what do you think these drivers are thinking of as of this moment?
Thinking about just putting down a good time, or some might even not put down a time in general, just because of how long this race is, 94 laps, and like I said, this likely won't go caution-free. If it does, I'll be perplexed, but usually have 4 yellows in this one. Seasons 3 to 5 ended in overtime, so there's always the chance of a late race yellow. The laps caution average is about 8 to go. Last lap pass for the lead has happened 3 of the last 4 seasons, including season 5, season 6. Leading the most laps really doesn't matter. The winner could come from anywhere in the field. Tyler Nichols won last year from 28. That's the furthest anyone has won from this race in the field. And I was actually looking back at the points. Tyler Nichols entered 20th in points last season before winning. So your storyline pick of Bear Pulling, this might come true. And then I also looked at season 5 because I mentioned how far back Spencer Burns was. He was 35th in the point standings before winning in season 5. He wasn't playoff eligible, but can take the win away from anyone who desperately needs it.
That sounds like such a Spencer Burns thing, you know. Don't show up all year, you get one shot at a super speedway, and he goes out and has the best performance he's ever had ever. So nothing we haven't seen before by him. I wonder if he'll ever come back to the Area Cup Series. Less than a minute remaining, and yes, not a lot of drivers actually putting down a time. There still is no time by James Scioli, but he is on the racing surface. Jake Matheson on the surface as well. Jeremy Miller down the back straightaway. Ryan Swan in the Rick's Hot Sauce 20. He is sitting dormant on pit road, not electing to put down a time. Curhan as well. He puts a time in to the 13th position. So some drivers coming in, putting down slots, others not able to. Senesac, bang, you should be the 29th to put down a time, if he can indeed make it back fully around. Jeremy Miller. Paint scheme based off of the Tony Stewart Matterhorn livery from the early 2010s, that car tomorrow. Gets it all lined in, and we get ready to ride. This is Talladega Superspeedway. Seth Knoll, who's had the most wins already this year, will lead us to green, looking for win number 4 on the regular season. Hunkari, others have all joined us. You see an overhead view of Talladega Superspeedway. You know, let's go ahead and interview Brandon Bowie. He's on that bubble. Bowie, John Ramos, you got a copy?
Yes, sir. Gotcha.
All right, man. Listen, you're 12th heading in, right? You're not safe. Anybody wins, that's not you. You're out. See you. Goodbye. How do you feel about that, including knowing that there is a possibility of other drivers possibly pointing in and overtaking?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a challenge. Being on the cut line and unfortunately not having any teammates tonight, it's going to be an uphill battle. But the goal is to definitely try to stay up front and just kind of see where things shake out. It's what the real guys do in real life. This is the pressure cooker race. So we're just going to see how it shakes out.
All right, going to be fun to see shake out. Does that mean run around in the back a little bit to see if something ignites?
No, again, because my teammates aren't here, I really don't have a safety net. So I'm just going to try and make some friends while I'm out there and just try to stay up front and see if I can stay out of the carnage. If I can do that, I think we got a good shot at making it.
Have you been able to test the setup package? Anything changed with the new iRacing update?
Not the cup car. I've been kind of testing the road stuff out more. I did notice that the cold tires at the start of the run do make a difference, so that's going to be a little interesting. You know, how long it takes for guys to get a little bit more comfortable and start making aggressive moves. But I think on the super speedways it's probably not as bad as compared to like we go to like a short track, mile and a half or somewhere like that.
All right, going to be fun to see. What do you want to say to these viewers? They've been hanging out with us.
Yeah, you know, and continue to hang out. It's definitely going to be a wild race tonight. Like I said, cut-off race. So you're going to see some moves that you probably haven't seen all season. And hopefully we can put on a good show.
All right, good luck today.
All right, thanks.
That is Brandon Bowie, once again, racing for a playoff spot. We'll go ahead and drag him back. Let's look at who else is in. Who do you think we should interview, Hunter?
I like the underdog with Ryan Swan.
All right, Ryan Swan. Let's go ahead and hear what he's got to say.
Where is he?
And I don't believe Ryan Swan is in the Discord.
This happens every time I pick someone.
I know. It's kind of funny, though. Let's see. Who can we go ahead and grab us? We have 2 minutes left.
All right,
maybe. All right, can we see Cottle? Is Cottle in here?
Josh Cottle. No, I do not see him.
All right, let's go Barrett Palimas. Screw it. We know Barrett's going to be one to watch. Palimas, John Ramos, you got a copy.
I got you loud and clear, buddy.
All right, man. Listen, you can't point your way in. It's win or bust. What do you think?
Well, I think we still got the UL from Martinsville, but it's Talladega, and just in the few laps of practice that I had with the updated brand package that we had from the update we had last week, it's pretty squirrely when you're out front.
Okay, so there was an update to the package. I thought so.
Yeah, they completely overhauled the next gen and all that in the season update last week. This is my first time running through a strict play package, and it's pretty squirrely. From right here, it's hard to pass 2x2 grid lock, but with how unstable the cars can be at the front of the field and with how much push and shove there can be, I think we're going to have at least 2 or 3 big ones tonight. So I think if I can make my way through there, just be patient, be smart, I think we can set up pretty good at the end of the day.
All right, gonna be fun to see. You got a decently sized field here. We went caution free at Daytona. I don't think anyone's really expecting the same here at Talladega.
No, I would hope not. But we said the same thing about Daytona. So I mean, who's to say? But I mean, if it's any indication, just from practice again, if it's that hard to pass, people are going to get impatient. They're going to get frustrated, which causes chaos. And we're deep in the season. You know, it's the playoff cutoff race. So I get the feeling we're not going to be going green the entire way here, and thank God for that.
All right, mere seconds away. The viewers are watching back at home. What do you want to say to them? Did we lose him? We may have lost Barrett Palimas.
Hello?
Oh, there we go. Viewers watching back at home. What do you want to say to them?
I don't know. I hope y'all enjoy the race. Be pulling for that 79 car on the Powerhouse Racing Boys. Check me out on Instagram. I'm also a real race car driver. racing this week at Flat Rock Speedway, first one of the year.
Oh, get out of here! I'm calling that one.
Oh, really? You'll be there?
Oh yeah, I'm doing
sweet.
Jeg Store full time.
All right. Well, I'll see you there, bud.
Heck yeah! What car?
131 in place for Kyle.
No way!
Yeah, I'm hyped about it, dude. This is an opportunity that I've been wanting and working for a really long time.
We're gonna have a pretty good field. I mean, I can't say much, but I mean, we're gonna have a pretty good field.
Yeah, rumor has it Jade Avedition is gonna be there in the Downey Wilson number 24. And if that's any indication, we're gonna have a pretty stout field there.
Are you bringing a super or a pro?
Probably a pro. She's been running a bunch of crate stuff, I know, for Wilson. If Wilson brings any other cars, I'm not sure if they'll be super or not. I believe the super is still going to be disadvantaged even with the repave, just because it's still so round, not a whole lot of room to make an advantage or anything on it. But we'll see. I feel really good about it. This should be one of the best flat rock fields that the Jeg Stewart's ever had.
Oh yeah.
I'm really looking forward to it.
I've already started notes on the race. It's going to be fun. You guys can watch it live on Racing America and/or Track TV. I'll be commentating. Barrett Polimas will be racing. We're getting ready to roll. Good luck.
Yeah, thanks, man.
It's that time of the evening where you see the field that is in front of you here at Talladega and you say, I want to learn more. Race fans, it's that time of the night. Your starting grid for Talladega. Rolling off in row number 1, Seth Knoll and Justin Anasogak. Line up as they get ready to go ahead and take the green flag. Row number 2, John Hall and Bailey Turner. Row number 3, it's Peyton Howland, James Scioli. Row 4, Adam Cabot and Blaze McKinney. Row 5, Tyler Nichols and Connor Horn. Row 6, Philip Groner and Barrett Polimas. Row 7, Jake Nichols and Brandon Bowie. Bowie on the cusp of possibly not making the postseason. Row 8, Mason Kane and Miller. Jeremy Miller goes to the rear. Row 9, Michael Curran with Cosmin Yonashinu. Row 10, David Weishart with Seth Berger. Berger to the rear. Row 11, Brett Bunkari and Reese Schaefer. Row 12, Hayden Swank and Jonathan Evans. Row 13, Ed Robertson and Lee Norton. Row 14, Max Service and Travis Beckner, both to the rear. Row 15, Brad Slaughter with Jake Matheson. Row 16, Garrett Grand and Ben Pierce. Row 17, Dylan Alt and Tanner Betha. Row 18 has Bryce Senesac and Ryan Swan, rounding out our field here at Talladega. Field works its way off turn number 4, a beautiful sight to behold, as everyone gets ready to rock and roll. Let's see what you've got to make the postseason. Pace car the hard left on the pit road. 94 laps of action from Talladega Superspeedway. Let's sing Sweet Home Alabama all night long and light the fuse in Nega. First time up the embankment, still 2x2 as they'll work full saw for the first time off the end of the Alabama Gang super stretch. It's Toyota on Toyota, no change at that. And a Sogak on the outside, that's his 88 machine. Seth Knoll on the bottom in the 1. More shoving than stopping, should I say, from the outside lane to the bottom. You saw them all just seal one, nose to tail. It's inside lane advantage for Seth Knoll. Bailey Turner. Doing what he can to find out what works for him. He's up to 5th. Seth Knoll will lead lap number 1, but up to 2nd it's John Hall. And quickly finding his way into that 2nd position. He knows 1 win on the season looks great. You definitely want more than that. Slots in, single file, almost mirroring what we saw at Daytona earlier in the year. You'll see the 3 wide, you'll mostly see the 2x2. Remember, this drop package is completely overhauled, so for a lot of drivers, it's the first time experiencing this under full race conditions. Speed is key. Trouble! Around goes Matheson, heads right to the inside wall. David Weishart, Lee Norton get collected in the mess. So does Brett Bucari. The caution will wave just 2 laps into the race. Not a lot of damage on the 01. Oh, almost created more. Blaze McKinney, Tanner Betha, they've had drive-through penalties. There's Lee Norton. Bent up, chewed up. And most likely an early exit already from round number 12. Let's take a look back. Lucky Duck Motorsports dropping on the $5 super sticker. Thank you so much, including with the $2 super sticker that we definitely saw earlier. Thank you again. Watch the middle of this field. He was going to go up to make the block and then just cut right back to the bottom. The car was already there. Did not hold on to the brakes, slam the outside retaining wall, and Lee Norton. An unfortunate start to his 12th round of 2025. See him there, tries to get in front of Beckner, hesitated. Really nothing that could have been done. Falls back to the inside. Caution is out. Pit road is open. They'll get ready to work their way on in. Let's go ahead and throw down to pit road. Hunter Sluppy. Sluppy, what's going on?
Yeah, looking through, talking through some of the guys that had damage in that. Pumkari had damage in that. Hayden Swank had some nose damage. He said that should be relatively okay. It's still early in the going. Blaze McKinney, on the other hand, is going to send Lee Norton a Christmas card for that because he was one of the 4 drivers with drive-thrus tonight. So while he still had to serve the drive-thru, he will not be at the hands of the leaders and possibly losing a lap. So he'll be at the tail end of the field, no drive-thru for this next restart. So Lee Norton, you're going to get a Christmas card. I know it's June, but it's from courtesy of Blaze McKinney. Other than that, everyone else is A-OK with their car. Indeed. We want to give a quick shout out here to Hendry County Motorsports Park. Guess what? They're back once again with the southernmost dirt track. Join them Saturday, June 21st to see the stock and modified Demolition Derby reverse direction, flagpole race, and more. Don't miss out on the final events before summer break with tickets at $20 for adults, and kids ages 5 and under are free. Bring the family to the track with the family pack of 4 at $25. Come see the southernmost dirt track in America, located in Clewiston, Florida, off US Highway 27. Visit HendryRacing.com for more information on that. Once again, you saw that 28 machine was just in Central Florida. Matter of fact, last week did not get to see any racing. Was hanging out in Sebring, in the Orlando area as well. But back on the simulator side, Seth Knoll, John Hall, Peyton Howe, Bailey Turner. That sits your Fast Four currently single file on the bottom side of the racetrack. Justin Anasogak with Tyler Nichols, James Scioli, and Philip Groner. An early caution brings some unfortunate situations for others. Lee Norton, the first driver out of this race. Jake Matheson, you see him now working his way down the back straightaway. Brett Bucari, Ed Robertson, and Ben Pierce have now found themselves pacing with the main group. For the viewers watching back at home, we say hello and welcome. We hope you're all enjoying the broadcast on the IDK Player YouTube channel. The Area Cup Series has one home in 2025. It is here on the IDK Player YouTube channel. If you do enjoy the broadcast, feel free to drop a like. It does help us out a lot. And subscribe for more Enter Night in America, e-ticket events, and Area Cup Series postseason action. They'll be taking place following the Talladega stream. Actually, matter of fact, next week will be round number 1 of the playoffs. Lights are off on top of the, I believe that is the iRacing pace car. Instead of a Toyota front row, it's going to be Toyota Chevrolet. 2 super speedways this year, and combined for 105 laps.
one caution. We had a 100-lapper earlier in the year at Daytona for the Area 500. That Area 500 went caution-free. Now here for Talladega, 5 in, 2 in. Really is when the caution did go ahead and fly. 3 while pacing.
That's something I did guarantee that we would get at least one yellow, so I'm glad I got something right this week.
Well, you definitely got that one. Now the question is, does it continue?
Cautions breeding cautions, I would hope not, but not until around the halfway point, at least.
Okay. Now, I'm starting to realize something here. I mean, we talked about buoy, said nothing really changed. Palima said a lot has changed. We're already hearing drivers saving fuel. What has changed with this aero package, you think? Is it more in line with what we see in person?
I believe so. They were actually joking about saving fuel earlier. I forget what channel I was in, but they were joking about having to save fuel, but I've not heard anything about drivers actually saving fuel unless we start going into yellow, yellow, yellow mode, because I really don't think tire wear is going to matter that much. But I'll have to check in with that on this next restart.
All right, going to be fun to see. Lights out on top of the pace car. Time to go racing once again. Pace car makes a hard left on a pit road. Seth Knoll will lead him on down. John Hall Chevrolet on the outside lane. Howland Turner, road number 2. Matt Green with the Area Cup Series at Talladega. All the shove in the middle. Turner sealed in the back half of the machine. And a Sogak will pick up Hall's 03, and all in contention is Chevrolet. Mason Kane to the back bumper. Brad Slaughter Jr. and others. We're going to see if a third lane can generate. Not going to happen. You see the 609 machine in Connor Horn starting to fluctuate back to that second lane, but it's still all John Hall on the inside of 1 and 2. Kane up to 8th, Slaughter back to 10th. And deeper in the pack, Tanner Betha. See him working on the outside in the second lane. Adam Cabot. James Scioli has found his way into 3rd. Does he maybe make a move on the 88 of Anna Sogak? Solar Flare sitting 2-3. John Hall to the line. He'll lead another. And this is where these drivers can settle on in. Yes, you have that one caution early, but the way this aero package has been rebuilt, at least from what we've seen, it's not going to be generating those hefty runs that we used to see back in last year, versus also maybe the heavier runs we saw earlier in the year in 2025 when you watched the Florida 500 on the IDK Player YouTube channel for the e-ticket events. It is all mainly 2x2 and that train jammed up racing. At some point, they will sneak 3 wide. You may see a 4 wide, but nobody wants to break away from the 2 lanes on the bottom. Jonathan Evans. Mason Kane. Itching, wondering, trying. What can work for him? Still mostly 2x2. These drivers do a great job of just holding their line. Not trying to get bent out of shape. Kerhan up to 7th, Slaughter back in 5th. Evans and Sogak, Connor Horn in 3rd. You see him now on the bottom side of the racetrack. Oh, trouble! The leaders go around! Connor Horn into the inside wall, and Sogak's able to save it. No caution, we stay green. Wow. And this shuffled the entire deck. Mason Kane now the race leader. Here's Connor Horn, he just gets the machine refired. Brad Slaughter Jr. to the outside. He'll fight for the top spot. Let's see what happened. I mean, they got bent out of shape real quick. Horn gets into Anna Sogak. Excuse me, Hall gets into Anna Sogak. Horn goes around. And that was all they needed for things to go nuts. Still one caution in the books. Not a caution there. Brad Slaughter Jr. now the race leader. Kane, Betha, Senesac, Berger. .12 out of 94. And still that shoving. You have drivers that haven't been up front most of the year now having a piece of the cake. Just a little bit, I would say. Senesac, Berger's the big one at 77, who has found his way up to the 6th position. Weishart to 6th. And Brad Slaughter Jr. continues to lead on the bottom. And it's still 2x2, not a lot of pushing and shoving. You see the damage on the nose of the 24. Kerhan on the outside. Berger in 77. Weishart at 29. You can see the cars bottoming out, just all the sparks flying up underneath the diffuser. Three wide still. Kerhan in the middle. Berger goes to the bottom. On the move at 13, Josh Cottle. If Cottle wins, he's into the postseason. See Berger inside, just getting pushed and shoved. That by Brad Slaughter Jr. Kerhan able to cross the nose, keep them mostly at bay. Back to the middle with Weishart on the move. Two by two, now 3 wide generating for this most lane. And Cottle's just trying to get something going, right? He's got Blaise McKinney back there. He's got company behind McKinney. All these drivers trying to see if they can get something to roll. He wants to start that convoy. The only thing is, Cottle has Polimas back there as well, who's in a must-win situation. Bunkari. Stuck 3 wide middle, no change. Seth Berger will be leading laps at Talladega. Oh, not too long. Here comes Slaughter. Brad Slaughter Jr. to the middle. found the hole that worked best for him and was able to make it work. Matheson to Turner. Lap after lap being etched off the board. Now we got 15, make it 16 in the books of the 94 that are guaranteed in this race. Hunter Sleppy, any updates?
Quite a bit. Connor Horn not happy he was caught up in that. Caught up with Anna Sogak saying he got turned. Powerhouse on that outside lane. They're experimenting stuff for the later runs of the race. And then Seth Knoll said he has not gone full throttle yet at all.
Oh man, you're joking.
That's about it. So guys are preserving fuel, some of them.
Well, this is Brad Slaughter. He's about 190, 191 in the middle. iRacing updating the Superspeedway package to be more in line with what you see in person. Somewhat of a blip out of the throttle. Here's Beckner. That's 194, 195. He's deeper in the field. Fully out of the throttle. Down to 187. Now, I think that's what that inside line really is. It's just lines of machines that don't want to overdo it, right? And you got a couple guys already out of the race. Dylan Alt, Lee Noren, all already knows he's in the postseason. Just was starting this race. But up front, Brandon Bowie. Win, you're in. Michael Curran. Already in the postseason from the looks of things. With him being 9th in points. Hopeful from Lucky Duck. Curran to the line, 18 out of 94. Yeah, nothing really has changed with this 2x2. Matheson on the bottom. Curran on the outside. Bowie, Yonashinu. That's 3rd and 4th. Weishart and Grant. Couple machines to the outside wall. No harm, no foul. That was Brett Pucari. He's found his way back in line. Not Reese Schaefer. He wasn't with him. That may have been... no, I was going to say Tyron Nichols, but Nichols is actually blinking. Ben Pierce in the number 65. That's on the bottom with Ed Robertson. Robertson got on the wall there with Pucari. What to do with what's going on. Inside lane 1 second, outside lane the other. For other drivers just trying to sneak, roll around, try what they can. Let's go in and chat with the viewers back in the live chat below. I went ahead and asked the question to you all. Do you think we'll see someone win their way into the playoffs? Well, most of you guys definitely have said yes. Now the question is, who would it be? And the racing, what's your opinion on the racing? Mostly 2x2, they're trying the 3x3. All things changing, all things wondering. Three wide, Beckner in the middle. Garrett Grant trying to make a move as well. Still stuck, 3 wide, no change, maybe 4. Brandon Bowie thought about maybe making a move out of line. And Garrett Grant has joined top of the fray. we're going to get to a point where, without a shadow of a doubt, you're going to start seeing some drivers make some changes, make some moves, maybe to pit road, coming within the near 20 laps or so. Three wide again. This time Travis Beckner to the outside. Trying to make the shift work. Three by three. That's what you see. And a heck of an exchange. Service, he drops back to 23rd, and as quickly as we saw that all go down, at one point he was up there contending for the race lead, has now dropped back. Payne Howell has found his way into 4th, Blaze McKinney and company. But David Weishart holding on the inside lane. Ed Robertson, Brett Punkari, 23 and 94. Oh man, just going right to the outside wall. Shifting and swaying. Jake Nichols, James Scioli, Seth Knoll. Look at Knoll, has dropped all the way to the rear. The idea is very simple. If you know you're already locked in, there's no point in trying to make that charge, at least as of this moment. Couple drivers eyeing pit road. It's showtime. Nichols, Knoll, and matter of fact, all of Solar Flare say pit now, lap 24. That's actually with saving fuel, so they're down and in. This allows Cosmin Yoneshinu to take the race lead with John Hall there in second. Right side's going up for the Solar Flare guys. It won't just be gas and go. Senesac. In line, Travis Beckner. In line as well. Single file on the bottom. Jake Matheson sits at 4th. You're going to start seeing a lot of these guys making that cut to pit road. One group already in the books. Question is now what's going to happen with the next? Brett Punkari and others still towards the back half of this field. Senesac in 09. Oh, given daylight, but they do not come in. Hunter Sleppy, update on pitting.
The Solar Flare guys pitted. They're trying to come together on the track. Power House is determining whether they want to pit as a group or with another group. And then everybody else is just complaining about the lack of awareness to be able to go up into the outside.
Lack of awareness?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I guess there were a couple of close calls in that pack where someone almost got turned or they had to check up for someone making an idiotic move. Also, mentioned about Ryan Swan, how he loves Talladega. His power is out, and he is not in a good mood.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so he could not make it.
Very unfortunate for Ryan Swan. The Rick's Hot Sauce. You know, let's go ahead and give the shout out to Rick's Hot Sauce, at least as of this moment, with all the people watching back at home. Always great to hear what they are able to do. Love the South Florida sponsors, by the way. Big fan of that. rickshotsauce.com for some of the best hot sauce made locally in South Florida. Try their wildness from Golden Garlic, Palm Beach Pineapple, and South Beach Heat. Follow the Rick's Hot Sauce Rookie of the Year Battle of the Area Cup Series to see which driver takes home the $100 prize as the highest finishing rookie in the standings. There's Bailey Turner. He's going a lap down. We saw other drivers possibly consider sneaking to pit road. Adam Cabot, he's 25th. He's leading the Solar Flare herd, but nobody has bid on, at least in this main group. Now, they've thought about it. Senesac, Cottle, and there's David Weishart. Inside lane thundering. Kane, Senesac to the outside. Max Service back in the 19th position. No real change up front. Still no jolt in the pit road. And it's going to be a 2x2 type of race until maybe later on. I mean, we're working lap 29. How many do we have to go? Call it 66, now 65. So you're not going to see that wild flare out that you're going to be expecting to when it's 5 to go, when it's 4 to go. This is very reminiscent to what we saw with the Area Cup Series. Kane back in 12th. There's Grant, there's Howell, there's Schaefer. Plays McKinney in 12th position, Barrett Polimas in 13th, Senesac 14th. Oh, and you just want to keep a watchful eye on that outside lane. How bold they've been getting. 64 to go. Well, the interesting thing is, if they get to about 50 laps to go, which I don't think they can do, they'll be able to probably do it in no more stops. So this should be, in theory, a 2-stop race. If they can go ahead and pit now, they stretch the field just long enough to get within the bubble of 40 to go. They should be good to go all the way to the end of the race, barring an overtime finish. McKinney up to 9th. Has been one of the drivers to go and watch. There's the main group now working their way to the tri-oval. You saw the Solar Flare group soon to come into view. They pit awfully early. And are now in jeopardy of going a lap down before these drivers start the pit cycle. And Solar Flare, we saw them come to pit road, what, 24 laps into the race? And we had a caution. Interesting stuff. But nonetheless, the rest of the field says we're going to stick as one. So John Hall holds on to second. Curhan holds on to third. Brandon Bowie, David Weishart, Travis Beckner. Beckner back in the 7th position. Still no change, mostly single file, as you expect these drivers to work their way to pit road. That second group is still up there, but they're going to come down. They're going to be in a tough scenario. I think everyone's just trying to run it to E. Brandon Bowie backing off, trying to get some daylight. Nobody makes the jolt onto pit road again. And they could be lapping Solar Flare soon. There's a good bit, like 9-10 machines up in front of them. Just from what you can dot the I with. Less than that, should I say, more like 7, 6. Have some lap machines mixed in. Cosmin Yonashinu has led 11 of the 34 laps so far in this race. John Hall in 03. He was looking for a move. Elected not to take it, Curran. Matheson. Blaze McKinney, Mason Kane, Jonathan Evans. Evans in 13th. You see the bottom of the 67 bottoming out. 60 to go. One second they move, 1 second you move. Robertson back in 16th. Kane in 11th on the bottom side of the racetrack. .59 laps to go from Talladega Superspeedway. That's just all single filed out right now. No one has been able to make a move, and we're still wondering when these drivers are going to elect to pit. Brad Slaughter Jr. getting towards the outside. Josh Connell on the bottom. Bryce Senesac in 09. Bugari joins on in as well, single file. Don't see anything changing when these guys are still trying to come to pit road. At some point, they're going to have to make that hard left coming down on. But now that they've all single file, you wonder if that is coming closer than you think. Now the speeds are still up to 195. That is the Brandon Bowie machine. Travis Beckner there as well. Norin Alt, 35th, 36th. Lap traffic soon to be a play.
Expect pit stops around lap 40 to 41 from Lucky Dog. The guys up front coming to pit in a couple laps.
Okay, do we know why Solar Flare pit that early?
No clue. They were discussing their plans for this next pit stop, and they told me about the early pit stops.
All right, let's see if it works. I mean, I don't see the advantage at all. But then again, I mean, what do I know? Unless they have a pretty good group. Let's go ahead and check in on the group. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 ducks in a row lined up. They're not exactly losing ground anymore with those drivers having to pit soon. I guess the idea would be have some type of advantage where it's settled amongst yourselves. And it's not just Solar Flare in there. I mean, you got Jeremy Miller back there in 30. Still somewhat scratching my head on how it could work. With the drivers ahead, all single file. Travis Beckner. There Polimas. There's Polimas to the inside in his 79. Pit road is open. Here they come. Bowie is in. Lock up from McKinney. And everybody gets on a pit road safely. It could have been a bad deal. Well, you saw the lockups all working. So Weishart, Beckner, Grant, and Kane end up staying out. Now we wonder how Solar Flare is going to go ahead and run this. One caution so far in this race. And here they come. Ricari electing to stay out. More drivers as well. Coming in is Schaefer, Senesac, and others. Garrett Grant is in. Schaefer is in. The left sides all come up. Picari is still the main driver on the track. Where does Solar Flare come out in all this? Yoshinu, 27th. Miller's found his way to 23rd. Seth Knoll comes in at 22nd. And they did not come out with the race lead. Provisional race lead is now John Hall. With 53 laps to go. That strategy is going to be interesting. I'm really wondering how this could be beneficial in any way, because now they all got to pit together soon. And everyone's got to pit at least once more. Yonashinu, Senesac, Pierce, Turner, Connell. Burhan. Bowie, wall 3 wide, Travis Beckner. Bukhari still leads for now. Provisional leader John Hall, you're watching him turn laps to turns 1 and 2. McKinney, Payne Howell. Curran up there at 9th, James Scioli at 7th. And the bottom lane just looks so good. So many ducks in a row. Top lane just cannot get going. Brandon Bowie up to the back bumper of the John Hall 03. The bottom lane just works well. That's exactly what you want to see if your driver's in that line. Bear Polimas in 6th, Jake Nichols in 7th, James Scioli in 8th, Philip Groner, Seth Knoll end up being the top 10, Yoneshinu and Evans somewhat stuck around that middle lane where they're still 2 by 2, maybe 4 rows deep. What do you call a box full of ducks? Buoy to second. Oh, it just slams the back end of the John Hall 03. Holding on, waiting on. Beckner in 9th. Nichols in 10th. Evans in the 14th position. Hall leads, 49 to go. All right, we're at that point of the race, right? You're past halfway. One caution. It's been mostly calm since that one yellow. You're having single file behind. Log these laps. You want to see this race run to the finish. Yoneshinu to the bottom. Has been able to work. Travis Beckner there in 7th. Just able to hold on for now. The thing is, it could change. Gerhan to the outside with Hayden Swank. Swank lined up with Beckner. The shuffle, the move. How about Cosman Yoneshinu? The best night he has had in any race this season. And he's just been able to work the wheels so well. Been able to work the car. Inside, outside, whatever it takes. Gerhan, Swank, Beckner, that is still 1, 2, 3, 4. Hall, Bowie, Kane, Slaughter Jr., McKinney. Two by 2, welcome back. Kane leading the outside lane to turn 4. And once again, it's one of those for now situations. Riding on with P&L. Yoneshinu, Gerhan, Swank, Beckner. That still sits the top 4. See Berger at 11th holding on. Riding on with Schaefer. 45 laps to go. The way they're racing, it seems like we're not going to see a yellow for quite some time. And they still have to work their way on and off pit road. From what we saw last time they came in, it was textbook. In and out. Nobody really with any mistakes. But at Talladega, when things get desperate, is usually when people get bold. And when you get bold, sometimes you make mistakes that have been seen to cost others an opportunity at winning. Remember the championship bubble. You're looking at Brandon Bowie. He's in right now as of 12. New winner. Maybe in the likes of Bear Polimis. Maybe in the likes of Josh Cottle. Bump them into the postseason. Connor Horn, remember he went for a slide earlier in the race. On the inside, now a lap down. And now he's just hoping to get the lucky dog. I don't think he's going to get it though. Anna Sogak, currently first car, 1 lap down. Connor Horn is actually 2 with Josh Cottle being 1 down. 44 to go.
John coming through with an update on pit road. A lot of guys on the radio complaining about overheating from tailing one another in the draft. Lucky Doug, actually Cosman, is questioning why some guys are saving fuel when they know they have to make another pit stop. And then Brandon Bowie, mentioned him close on points in the playoffs. He's the only one in his channel tonight. None of his teammates are here, so any information he can get from anyone that just so happens to poke their head in and out from time to time, he will take with a grain of salt. Amazing run so far, considering he's the only one in his team there, and he's in such a dire situation.
Man. Yeah, I have to agree on the saving fuel. When you know you have to pit again, there's no point in having to save fuel, including with the fact that when you're going to fill it up, I mean, what is it going to stop you, like a tenth of a second? I mean...
Yeah, because the fuel run is around 38 to 39. Maybe you can stretch it to 40, but with the lap they pitted on, they would still need another 10 laps or so of fuel. So it doesn't make sense to save, but some guys are still committed to that track.
So do we expect anybody coming in this time by, or do you, well, not this time by, we expect them in the next 4 or 5 laps?
I don't know if they're going to pit this early. I think they're just going to run it until either a yellow comes out or the fuel goes dry. And also, Brandon Bowie made a point of the radio saying that the tire wear is more immense on this update than in previous, where his left rear is close to 80, but probably below 80 now. So he's debating whether he wants to take left side tires or not on his next pit stop.
All right. Good to know. Yeah, well, some things I think Jason Beckner wants to know is if they indeed possibly pit in the next couple of laps just because they can't make it to the end. So if there's an update on that, we'll take it in a heartbeat. Changes, waiting, shuffling. It's back to Mason Kane as the race leader up front in 31. Cosmin Yonashinu goes second. Curhan, Slaughter, Weishart, Swank, and others just now waiting in the wake. How badly do you want to make a move? How badly do you want to make a run? Really being discussed. Multiple topics. Travis Beckner, there he is. He's in 10th. Blaze McKinney, back to 13th. They're really backing up. I mean, we questioned the fuel saving. I mean, some of these drivers, yeah, they're in the gas, are just not full on hammered in. You hear it there, John Hall. A little bit less out of the throttle. You can, I mean, clearly hear it when they come by your ear. Well, my opinions on the trucking sims. Love the trucking sims. It's pretty cool. The only thing is, I do that stuff IRL. Instead of trucking, it's driving. So I don't really go ahead and run with those. Slaughter, Kane, Yonashinu. 39 to go. All on the inside, not really a big change. Mostly single file with everyone else. Philip Kroner I wouldn't be surprised if some are now considering pitting soon. There's Seth Nolan. That may have actually been the strategy called by Seth Nolan Company. Pit early enough just to get to this point. And then come in, top off, so you don't have to worry about it the rest of the way. All things moving forward. Bailey Turner off the pace, you see them there. And with 38 laps to go, no one has made any type of move. Once again, you're watching the Area Cup Series live on the IDK Player YouTube channel. I want to say thank you to everybody that has tuned on in thus far. Make sure you go ahead and check out the High Banks podcast. Just two blue-collar guys, Nick and Alex, talking about NASCAR and more. New episodes with area drivers coming soon. And don't forget to add some life to the party with some Elite Entertainment. Elite Entertainment, a huge supporter of the Area Cup Series. They're located in Bowling Springs, South Carolina. Elite Entertainment provides high-quality band production to entertain at any location, including karaoke, singo, which is music bingo, and more. Once again, check out their link tree, Elite Entertainment LLC, for all contact information. David Weishart, he's found his way in a second. And on the pedal he goes. You see some looking, you can see some peeking. Bowie back to 8th. Here's another one, well out of the throttle. Look at the inputs. Lifting just before the tri-oval. In comes Scioli, Noel Kroner. This is what you expected out of Solar Flare. This should be their final stop for the rest of the race. Oh, and I'm starting to see the strategy come together. Okay, hear me out real quick. When they get to be good right now, they're going to be full on in the gas. Every other driver on the track right now, half throttle, 75% throttle. They're not hammered home versus Solar Flare, where they're now going to go, let her rip, full throttle. Let's see how this works. With an idea of gapping the rest of the drivers to let the race be played out amongst themselves. Light bulb, and it's going to possibly work. And I say possibly because you just never know. Adam Cabot, Josh Connell is in 32nd. Matheson, Betha, Alt, and Lee Noren, the only drivers out of the race. So when do you pit if you're this group, knowing that's the strategy call by Solar Flare? Is it closer than you think? Evans is 16th. Bowie back in 8th. No change, no move. Outside lane on the move. Yoneshinu and others. Curhan buoy 2x2. See Taylor, or Bailey Turner, should I say, and others kind of holding on. Walks on with Bear Polimis. He's up to 5th. 32 laps to go from Talladega. It's on up front. Blaze McKinney, the race leader. Now they're starting to go ahead and kick it up a notch. Hal and Weishart. 1, 2, 3. Mostly inside, locked in. Everything else really up for grabs. Pit road is open, and they all start fluttering in. Money stop time. They should be able to go the rest of the way. Swank into McKinney. McKinney in the grass. Goes for a loop. Will most definitely lose the pack. Oh, man. Unless you can play a different strategy if you're the 87, less fuel. No tires. I mean, just a terrible situation. Pit road is open again. Here they come. Curhan, Yoneshinu. Bringing themselves in as well.
Over the radio about the contact with Aiden Swank. Not happy about that at all.
Wow.
Solar they took tires on their pit stop. Other guys took tires on their pit stop as well. I think it's Max Service. Could be wrong, but he broke off from his team and now he's in the main pack. And 6-9, nothing from them. Pretty quiet over the rest of the week.
All right. Big update there from Hunter Sleppy. Polimis in 5th. Holding on and waiting. Two by two, mostly working their way through the field. So much to do, so much to watch. Well, these drivers coming on in. "28 laps to go here from Talladega." And the coming and swaying. The 2x2 has Barrett Polimas now as the race leader. We've talked about Polimas before and what he's been able to do to get to this position. He's in a must-win situation to make the postseason. Beckner and Evans. John Hall back to 6. And where are the rest of the machines? There's 21st. Company from others. So much to look at, so much to do. And what a ride it has been for all these guys. Peyton Howell, top end of the speedway. Barrett Polimas, second, gets him nowhere. Jonathan Evans, Brandon Bowie. Garrett Grant back to 10th. Mason Kane back in 13th. Just hear him out of the throttle again. But a fun time it has been. I want to say hello and thank you to everyone in the chat. Eric W., Wes Edits, Matt Liveries, for hanging out with us for this long, enduring race. 25 to go. You got 3 wide behind the leaders as they're 2x2. Nothing out of the woodwork yet. If you're just joining on in, a 1 caution race. Most of this pack has scattered back. And now everyone else either on the loud pedal or just hoping. And you got the Toyotas dead set 2x2. 19 car pack. Will be 24 laps to go. Left side of your screen, you'll see all the drivers in it. Schaefer, Nichols, Service, Cabot, Scioli, Knoll. Just to go ahead and name a few. Kane, Yonashinu. Bowie just cannot have Polimas win this race. And what a ride it's been. And they've been absolutely on it. 3 wide. That's how they look. Howell, Beckner, John Hall, Weishart, Bowie, Miller, just to name a few. .23 to go. Polimas way out in front. Howell and Beckner toe-to-toe for the second position. Hall and Evans have joined in on the fray. Weishart at 6th. Bowie at 7th, Miller at 8th. .22 laps to go. You see a 3 wide move. Is it possible to happen? Miller in 8th, Grant in 10th. And so fast they've been. One lane tries to move, the other one tries as well. That third lane has just struggled all race long, and it's showing in the final moments, second half, later half of this race. I think it's going to come down to a 2x2, but the question is, where's the desperation moves? Everything has just been on a delay for this race. I think that's what keeps the energy going, right? You're sitting and wondering, when it's an end or nine or an Idk, you'll see the wildness with 100 to go, with 50 to go, but these drivers are containing it and knowing it's feeding time at the zoo within the next 10 or 5 laps. What do you do if things do happen to go wrong? Olimus and Howe, Beckner and Hall. No change. You see the 2 wide, you see the 3 wide. Kurhan, Knoll, Yoneshinu, Scioli. Beckner and company, Howell and company. Weishart in 7th. Just watching and waiting. So many good moves. And the opportunities continue to mount up. $18 laps to go. Hall on the bottom, Slaughter Jr. in the middle. Don't look now, but company is rising on the outside. There's Evans trying to make a move. Jake Nichols is leading that third lane. We'll watch all of him. 18 to go. Slaughter Jr. and Howe, 1-2 still. Miller in 3rd. He just slams in that back bumper. There's Seth Knoll in 5th. Has not made the jolt out of line. Still 2x2x2. Now working halfway down the Alabama gang super stretch. Move for Miller to the inside. He's got it to work. Brad Slaughter Jr. has not won a race all year. $16 to go. And there's Knoll in the 1. 15 laps to go this time, still stuck 2 by 2. Slaughter in 3, Miller in 30. Jeremy Miller running a scheme based off Tony Stewart's Matterhorn car from 2011. And with 15 laps to go, he has a shot at winning. One top 5 recorded for Miller this year. He's outside of the top 12. A win for Miller means he's in. They talked about how good he was to start the year. Reese Schaefer, where is he? At one point he was up there. He's now back to 18th, only showing the top 20 as the 19 cars in the pack show left side of your screen. 14 to go. Now this is just going to get really dicey really quick. Brad Slaughter Jr. Shuffling, swaying. No dead move just yet. Where's Pierce? Looking up and down, don't see him. Where's Miller? He's back to 3rd. Seth Knoll has found his way into 2nd. Connell multiple laps down. In jeopardy. Miller, opportunity. Barroso. Not in the main group. Cabot's in already. He came into this race 7th in points. All eyes now on Jerry Miller and Brandon Bowie. Bowie's up to 12th. He flutters back from 12th and 13th as it's Miller now sealed with the back end for the race lead. Jeremy Miller trying to catch lightning in a battle. And don't look now, but if Travis Beckner wins this race, same thing applies. Beckner is 18th. He's within the top 20, which would grant him a spot into the postseason. Crossover move, Howell to the inside. They're paying Howell enter this race 8. And he's got it. Lined up nose to tail, advantage inside lane. 11 laps remaining from Talladega.
Michael Curran did not know that he can get damage from bump drafting too hard in the next gen, and he's had it for most of the race, and he just realized now, late to go.
Is it going to affect him?
It's already affected him. He's trying to manage it to the finish.
Keep an eye on Curran. Curran currently sitting 9th. He's in the playoffs for now. Just needs to continue to have a good run and a good finish. 11 to go. And then there's Payton Howell, top end of the speedway. Lined up with Slaughter. John Hall in 4th, Seth Nolan 5th. 10 to go. Belima, Schaefer, 15th, 16th. One gets a shove, another gets a nudge. Seth Knoll is there. He's with Scioli. Will be 9 laps to go when they get back to the line. Slaughter to cover. How the opening. Peyton Hell to the outside with Jeremy Miller. That top two is able to pull away, but will quickly be swallowed up. Where do you go if you're the three? To the outside. Grabs one, can't grab two. And Noel picks up Miller on the bottom. 9 to go. Vector 11th. Polimas in 10th. Eight to go. And here comes the middle lane. Weishart in 7th. Bowie in 13th. Grant, Schaefer, Service, and Berger. The Service is just over a second back in the 19th position. Slaughter stops him. Howell underneath. Two by two they sit with 8 laps, now come to 7 laps to go. Scioli's back in 5th. Miller needs to win. He's 14th, coming in. And he's well over 20 points back to that cutoff. Slaughter on the outside, Seth Nolan toe. Scioli, Howe, 3rd and 4th. Nichols and Hall. Cabot and Beckner. Will be 6 laps to go from Talladega. And Slaughter wins. I mean, he doesn't go into the postseason because he's outside the top 20 in points. In theory, he could steal a win away. Weishart is 25th in points. He's another one. He wins. He doesn't make the postseason. One caution in this running. And it's all coming down to this. Seth Noel. Is it win number 4 of the season? Has only finished outside the top 10 once. Slams the back half of Brad Slaughter. What a racer's name, out front at the biggest, baddest racetrack in the world. Will be 4 laps to go when they get to the line. Nolan Slaughter, Howell on the bottom, lined up with Nichols. Weishart, Hall, Miller and Beckner, 8th and 9th. And they're already stacked up 3 wide. You see Cade on that outside, getting a shove from Adam Cabot. Evans on the bottom at 11th. Will be 3 laps to go this time by. And you just tell the drivers outside the top. Oh, trouble! There go the leaders! The big one strikes with 4 to go. Grant is in it. Schaefer is in it. Polimas gets chunked. Hayden Swank and others. And it all started with Peyton Howe as they got their way through the tri-oval. Heavy damage for Nichols. James Scioli. We'll see overtime. Oh, and it was brewing. You just knew it was going to happen. The whole front end of the field just exploded. Knoll, Hall, and Weishart get through. Same with Beckner. You see the damage on Jeremy Miller. He needed to win this race to advance. And you just wondered when it was going to happen, if it was going to happen, and then it ended up happening just in front of the main grandstands. Watch back. And just start squeezing them. And around went the field. Watch again. Now to the outside. Came down into Slaughter. Slaughter came back up. And there they go. And I wonder what this opens the door for. Where's Brandon Bowie? He's 8th. He's got damage. Most of the drivers now have damage after that wreck. Scioli, Robertson back on the track. Blaze McKinney, Brett Puncari, Brandon Bowie, Tyler Nichols. Jake Nichols. And then just silence when you listen down on pit road as we'll get ready for an overtime finish. Wild things that happen so quickly. Hunter Sleppy, do you have updates?
House not too happy about being caught up in that, specifically Peyton Howell being part of the wreck, saying that they were waiting for a sport ender, or they as in Brad Slaughter. And then Brad Slaughter wasn't happy. He just said some yellow car came down into me. And then Solar Flare not happy because they were also part of that. Although Jake Nichols said not too much damage to his car. Seth Knowles staying out. They're trying to maximize team points. David Weishart, not sure. Haven't caught up with him yet. But him staying out, he's just going for a win. Same thing with Michael Curran. And yeah, a lot of guys disappointed that they were caught up in the big one, especially Bear Polimas, very distraught over the radio.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see what happens now when it comes down to just saving fuel. Some of these drivers that pit very early are going to be on the cusp, so we're going to keep an eye on it. But unbelievable stuff being presented here in the final moments of the regular season. They're showing right now, as of the moment, Jeremy Miller as a race leader, but that's because he overshot the pit and actually went around one more than he possibly should have. So Seth Knoll, Weishart, Curhan, and Berger end up being the top 5. Let's go back and listen. Let's go ahead and look at the points just for a moment and get an understanding of where things look. Berger is 26. A win here won't put him in the postseason, but a win nonetheless is a win. McKinney, way down, 35th. He's out. We see Schaefer, we see Howe. Brandon Bowie, one of the survivalists. Who's out of this race? Josh Cottle is. He's done. No postseason for him in the Lucky Duck 13. Belimus is still on pit road. Slaughter Jr. is still on pit road. Beckner gets on the track. A lot of damage. Needs a heave. Needs a miracle. Well, all watch Seth Knoll and David Weishart. They pace the field over time. Here we come. What to do with what's to offer. The one to go. Pace car, the hard left on the pit road. Here we go. Chevy on Toyota. With a Chevrolet lineup in row 2. 2 to go from Dega. No holding strong. Curran. No move to the outside. Blaze McKinney's in third. Berger's in fourth. Bowie strongly in the 5th position, but nobody has been able to generate a run to the second lane. Trouble. Spinning. And into the outside wall. Ben Pierce. Travis Beckner involved. He's out of the race. And we'll have yet another restart. Oh, man. And we'll bring it on to pit road. As quickly as it looked like it possibly was going to be over, once the leaders took the white, not the case. Not the best angle for us to see who came up or maybe came down. Let's see it from the start. See how bowed out the 28 is. 3rd caution of the race. Beckner getting in line right in front of the 67. And then Pierce jumps to the outside. He wants to make a 3rd lane work. And then you saw it there. Another one bites the dust. Gerhan staying out. Berger in 2nd, Bowie in 3rd, Lucky Duck will have a say in the postseason. Fortunately not with Cottle. Hunter Sleppy, what do you got?
Yeah, Seth Knoll and Blaze McKinney had to pit. They only had enough fuel for that one green-white checker. Blaze very distraught over the radio, saying if they made it one more corner, might have had him. Seth Knoll immediately knew that he had to come down pit road, so Michael Curran and Seth Berger in prime opportunities, as well as Brandon Bowie and Brett Pucari on a possible season best finish.
That is true. It has been one heck of a season for Brett Pucari. Not the best in that regards, but he'll get ready to line up here. Let's see if we can talk to a driver before we restart. You know, matter of fact, let's talk to Brett Pucari.
Yep, let's go for it. Oh, where did he go?
Oh, there he is. Pucari, John Ramos, you got a copy?
I got ya.
All right, almost a career best finish in the making. Win, it's not far away. What do you think?
I'm probably going to get hung out to dry is what's going to happen.
Oh, you can't say that.
Well, I kind of set my expectations low, let's be honest about it. I mean, I can stay with Seth, but I feel like unless there's a gap on the bottom or something, I might get swamped, because that's what happens to Weishart, and I'm clutching like hell right now, because I might have enough fuel for this GWC, but if it goes to number 3, then I have to pit, so we'll see how this goes. I said I wanted to be in a fight to the death, and well, this is a fight to the death now.
Yep, all right. It's going to be fun to see. Good luck.
Thanks.
That is Brett Punkari. All very interesting indeed, huh, Hunter?
Yeah, he mentioned it occasionally throughout the race, how he's just running, and then just waiting for an opportunity, but he knew it was going to be a dogfight to the very end. He eventually saw what was going to happen, and it's happening. Cautions are breeding cautions. Guys are going out left and right, and whether that be to crashing or due to fuel. So,
yeah, and I think he's got to have a little optimism there at the end of the day, no?
Yeah, well, he's just I wouldn't say opportunist, but he's more of a realist, because, like you mentioned, all that outside lane, David Weishart did not go at all. And by the time they got to turn 3, he was well back from being inside the top 5. He's going to restart 6 because of how far back he's fallen. So it all depends on how that launch goes. He is the car that's going to be on the outside lane, whether that be for Curran or Berger. But if he gets a good launch and just sticks to the front bumper of whoever he's pushing, they might have a chance.
All right. Going to be interesting. We get the one to go. Overtime attempt number 2. Time to ride. And they all lock in once again. What to do in the final moments? 2 laps to find out. They roll 2 by 2 down the back straightaway. Curran, Berger, Punkari, Bowie, Weishart and Groner. All get ready to try it just once more. Top 20 displayed left side of your screen. You're going to see it fluctuate the final 2 laps. Try again from Talladega. Curran on the bottom, Bowie right with him. Seth Berger top side, he's got company in Punkari. Pushing, shoving, halfway down the super stretch. Punkari to the inside, Berger trying to cover. Brett Punkari, he's got the lead for the moment, can it hold trouble? Seth Knoll turns the 87. The caution will wait, and the heartbreak sets in. The 35 will have to pick. Oh, man. Seth Knoll and company going for the gap. And a 3rd attempt at an overtime finish. while in this. It happened quickly. Let's see it. Here's the replay. Watch Nolan 1. And what's been able to happen? Blaze McKinney comes down. Noel doesn't lift. Scioli involved in others. One of those situations where I guarantee you one's going to point full blame on the other. Seth Berger's now the race leader. Hunter, what do you got for us?
Just guys over the radio, different guys from different channels, just upset that Brett Puncari not going to have enough fuel for this next overtime restart, and I believe it's the final overtime restart. They were pulling for him. Jake Nichols was, Mason Kane was, dozens of others were upset just because of the Cinderella story. I mean, Brent Puncari mentioned it. He wasn't really too optimistic about the restart, but he had a good launch and had an opportunity to the inside, but he's still optimistic that he can get a top 10 from some maneuvering through wrecks that he presumes will happen.
Yeah. All right. An unfortunate situation for him. You said this might be the final overtime attempt?
I believe so. I think we only get 3 overtime attempts.
All right. So what happens if the caution comes out? Race is official?
Clarifying with that, but I believe that is the case.
All right. Seth Berger, David Weishauer, Michael Curran. Curran has lined up inside the top 5 multiple times this race. Ed Robertson will join him. Same with Brandon Bowie. But man, oh man, oh man, Brett Puncari has never won a race in NR Night in America, but has raced up front multiple times back in 2021. Almost won a race at COTA. Got a charter with the Area Cup Series. And unfortunately, an opportunity at a win may have to come at another week.
Yeah, I can confirm this is the final attempt at a restart, and if the yellow comes out before they get to the white, race is over.
All right. Who can do what as we get the one to go? Weiss, Hardenberger, Robertson, and Curran. Time for green. This is what so many have waited for, so many have wanted. Last attempt at a restart. Time to ride. And the moment you've all waited for. Time to ride. 2x2 to the restart zone. Final attempt at an overtime finish. Berger on the bottom, Kerhan right with them. Bowie, Groner, Weishart, and Nichols. Bowie to the bottom. Getting out of the way of the oncoming traffic. Wanting to solidify a chance at the postseason. Groner to 7th, Service in 6th. Cabot in the middle. Door slammed on him. Wrecking, spinning. They make it to the line. Salamanca. 1 to go from Talladega. That was Ada Sogek that wrecked. Race up front for the lead. Cabot to 5th. David Weishart the leader. Service, daylight downstairs. Does he take it? Yes, he does. Max Service. Bottom sign of 3 and 4. Needs help from the 52. It's going to come, but it's going to come late. Weishart a heave from Adam Cabot. This is the finish at Talladega. Cabot into Weishart. Weishart spins. So does Groner. Who's going to win it? Jake Nichols gets it done in a thriller at Talladega. Unbelievable stuff in the final moments. Clip it, send it, put it on social media. Unreal stuff, an unreal finish. And we welcome in the postseason with a wild finish from Talladega Superspeedway. League Night in America, feeling victories all year long. Jake Nichols in victory lane. On a long-awaited burnout. That finish was fueled by Victory Fuel. Celebrate tonight's win with Victory Fuel. Choose from caffeine-free flavors like Throttle Punch, Purple Potion, or Lucky Lemon. Each can is packed with electrolytes, charged with vitamins, and kid-friendly. Get 10% off your order with Area iRacing at checkout. Wow, unbelievable stuff for Jake Nichols and company. Nichols, what a finish. How did it all go down?
I honestly don't know. I was gonna joke with my team under the last caution there. I was like, man, I'm certainly getting close. If I get an interview, I'm gonna be like, I don't know how to explain this race. I didn't do anything. I just kind of was chilling there the whole time, and I guess that's what you got to do. Just find yourself in the right spot. We were moving up. I wanted to get with my teammates on the last restart. Kind of regretted it at first because the top started rolling, but and then that crash happened right at the white, and everything just kind of worked, and I was following Phillip, and I was gonna push Phillip to the win, and I think he got clipped by the wreck in the trial while coming to the checkered, so I just held it down and went to the top, and I think that might, I don't remember if that's 3 in a row for Nichols for Dega here, but we won I think 2 or 3 seasons ago. Tyler won last season, and now I'm back in victory lane here this season, so
And honestly, I feel like I gave one away the season before that, so maybe maybe this is Nichols country here in Talladega.
Maybe so. We're going to watch back on the finish for all the viewers watching back at home. I know everyone's going to want to see it at least multiple times. We'll keep an eye on what you see here. It kind of all came down. You talked about possibly pushing that 11, but that strategy early for you guys was interesting. What was the plan?
Just trying to get away, kind of like a real life strategy where, you know, the Toyotas, it is funny that we are in Toyotas, just try to pit immediately when the fuel window opens and just try to get away. And we didn't really work it that good early, and then we kind of picked up steam, and you know, it was going to work out in regards to being in the lead pack, but it wasn't obviously what we wanted to do in terms of just be away and have 7 drafty car or 6 drafty cars out there up front. But either way, it gave us good track position overall. We got involved in that one big one, but I barely got any damage in it somehow. I'm surprised I didn't get really hit harder than what I did, but either way, thanks to everyone at Solar Flare Racing, we put a good effort out here. I think we got really good points overall for team standings, so that's awesome. And obviously getting another win here at Talladega going into the playoffs is even better.
All right. Well, nonetheless, interesting way to end it. What do you want to say to the viewers that stuck it out? Great crowd at hand.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'm glad we got to have a clean and green finish. Obviously, you know, if we're all racing hard and we crash, it happens. It's Talladega. There's, you know, everyone's trying so hard to get that win. Either make the playoffs or just they're desperate to try to get something done. And I'm glad we made it to the white at least, even though we had a crash back there, so we could put on a great finish for everybody. So thank you for sticking around. Thanks for supporting our series and our league this whole season so far, and hopefully we can have a good playoffs.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That is the winner, Jake Nichols. Adam Cabot comes in. Cabot, you finished P2. Oh, so close in a wild topsy-turvy race. How were you able to do it?
I'm so torn on that. I mean, to come out of there P2 is pretty cool, but I was definitely in the position to win there, and Groner just, when he came down, just barely clipped me, and I was proud of my ability to stay floored in the gas and keep it from going onto a pit road exit just barely to avoid that penalty and still get second. So yeah, I mean, the actual race was, I thought, pretty terrible, but in all honesty, that's kind of how these cars race in real life. So I feel like overall this car's gotten much more realistic, and that'll make for better racing at most tracks. But yeah, unfortunately, we're kind of just gridlocked tonight, and just got lucky at the end there to kind of be in the right position, have the lane move, and was kind of just gifted with that perfect spot entering the tri-oval to win the race, and definitely had it there if I just didn't get clipped. So like I said, just kind of torn. Happy about P2, but pretty bummed because that could have been a pretty epic win there.
Indeed. What do you want to say to these viewers back at home?
I hope that the race was more entertaining to watch than it was to drive. I hope that it wasn't a bad one, especially the finish. I'm sure it was that was pretty exciting there. Anytime you can finish backwards and still get second, you know that there was a lot of calamity in the last lap. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. These playoffs are going to be super intense. I think you're going to see some amazing racing with this basically brand new car that iRacing gave us.
Indeed. Congratulations.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
That is Adam Cabot, P2 on the night. And we'll go ahead and get Philip Groner to round out the top 3, as Philip Groner with a great way to go ahead and end off the regular season. Updates through the area social media pages on the championship bubble. But I believe the top 12 will go unchanged, as the top 12 unofficially, at least as of this moment, will be displayed at the end. No Philip Groner, cannot find him anywhere, so unfortunately we'll not be able to get an interview with the driver that did finish in 3rd. Let's go ahead and look at the finishing results, bottom of your page, or now top of your screen. Jake Nichols, Adam Cabot, Philip Groner, Payne Howell, Michael Curhan. That top 5. Cosmin Yoshinu, Scioli, Weishart, McKinney, and Service ending up being the top 10. Pierce, Hall, Evans, Schaefer with Grant, the top 15. Senesac, Punkari, Robertson, Nichols, and Knoll ending out the top 20. See the rest of them with Hayden, Swank, and company joining on through. Brandon Bowie, and it's Sogak, Berger, Horn, Beckner, Miller, 27th. Slaughter with Polimus and Mason Kane end up being the final of the 30. Bailey Turner, Josh Connell, Jake Matheson, Tanner Betha, Dylan All, Lee Norton, and Ryan Swan not able to complete the race here this evening. Championship points. These are your 12 championship drivers unofficially. At least as to this moment, don't believe anything has changed. Brandon Bowie, Jonathan Evans, Bailey Turner, Michael Curhan, Payne Howe, Adam Cabot, Dylan Alt, James Scioli, Connor Horn, John Hall, Jake Nichols, and Seth Knoll. We'll be racing for a championship here in 2025. It's been a long one. Beautiful Monday evening. Get some shut-eye and have a great rest of your night. I'm John Ramos, the voice of Area, saying welcome to the playoffs in 2025. Have a